I have anger management issues and they're coming out right now. I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna vomit, I'm gonna scream. Hey guys, so I am going to be filming a makeup tutorial today. It is pretty simple, I would say, because I can't do makeup. I'm not good at it. I wouldn't say I'm not good at it, but like I'm not good at like complex looks. So over the years, I have figured out what works for me and I've stuck with it. So I'm excited to finally share kind of a more detailed makeup tutorial with all of you. So let's get started. First, I've already done my skincare. I have a morning skincare routine actually uploaded already, but done my skincare, sunscreen is on, so I'm going to go in with face makeup, like the base. And I don't like foundation, so what I use is the Born This Way concealer, and it is in shade Warm Beige. So that's my winter skin tone, and my summer shade is Honey. So I just kind of take however much comes on here and I put it concentrated mostly under my eyes, as well as select areas that I might want a little bit more coverage for. Overall, I think I'm pretty lucky with my skin. I don't have problem areas. And if you can't tell, I kind of bring it up when I put it under my eyes. But yeah, I'll just put it around anywhere, like that. And then I will take a damp beauty blender and just blend it all together. So I only use concealer because I don't really like the feeling of foundation. And like I said, I'm pretty lucky with my skin already, so I don't need super high coverage. I really only put this base layer as a kind of like to even out everything for the rest of my makeup. And so that is kind of why I only use concealer, but I love the Too Faced concealer. I feel like it blends out really well across my face. If you can't see what I was doing, I was kind of just taking what's under my eye, bringing it up, and then blending it down all around. I should probably start bringing the makeup down my neck, but I don't normally do that. But I should definitely probably start. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and I also but very rarely put makeup on my forehead. I usually just blend it up from the rest of my face. But yeah, I just blend all throughout. I'm gonna try to make sure that there's no blotchiness, which it's not super hard to make sure there's no blotchiness because like I said, I don't put a lot of makeup on in the first place. Like I don't put a lot of concealer on in the first place, so it's usually pretty easy to make sure that I have blended it out evenly. I'm not gonna lie, my beauty blender kind of smells like soap. I don't know what I did there, but okay. And next we're going to do eyeshadow, which is actually one of the most requested tutorials on my TikTok, is an eyeshadow tutorial. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I have had this like Sephora I Love palette in the shade medium warm for years now, and this is what I use religiously. I've had it for so long because I just like barely use eyeshadow and have only been using it more as of late. But we're going to show you how I kind of get like what I think my audience would consider my signature eye look using this palette. So normally I don't do this, but since I'm getting ready for my grad photos, I don't want to risk any mistakes. So I'm gonna be putting tape on this side of my eye. And I'm gonna be doing the same there. So like I said, I'm gonna go in with the pink and I'm just gonna put it over the entire lid. I'll probably use my fingers a little bit just to get a little bit more of a concentrated shade. if I'm using like the wrong terminology to describe this kind of stuff, please just mind your business and don't think anything of it. Deeply appreciated. Okay, so the pink is settled. My camera died, so I had to go charge it. So while I was charging it, I did my hair so that I wouldn't be wasting time. But let's get started. So if you guys can't see, there is the pink. The tape is still on there. So now that the pink is on, I'm gonna go in with that brown shade that I told you. I'm gonna put it on here, and I'm just gonna put it in the corner. And so kind of what that does is it kind of transitions the pink into a darker color and wings it out. As you can see, it's gonna wing out. Do the same here. So as you can see. So that's winging it out. I'm also going to I winged it out a little bit too much. Bring it a little bit farther up so that there's more color overall. So that exists. And then I'm gonna go in, like I said, with this kind of rose gold shimmery shade and put that over the top. Like I said, super simple look because I'm not equipped to do anything greater than that. Now I'm gonna remove the tape. And throw those away. And let's see what we're working with. Yeah, so if you can't see, it's like very harsh lines and I don't like that. So what we're going to do is just kind of blend that out, clean that up a little bit. So I'm just gonna go in. I wanna clean up all that. And then blend. And so that's blended out. But I also don't like how like down it is, so I'm just gonna clean it up. I don't know if I should like tell a story time while I'm doing my makeup to keep you guys engaged, or whether you're just like watching, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. Anyways. So as you can see, I just kind of cleaned that up. So now that's kind of what my eye makeup is looking like. I'm gonna add a little bit more pink with my finger again because I just feel like it grabs the color so much better than a brush does. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more shimmer again. This is like my go-to look because I just think that the pink and like the warm tones just suit my skin tone so well. And so like I don't know if it's gonna go well with my graduation outfit and like all that kind of stuff, but that's besides the point. Can't do anything about that. Okay, so then like I mentioned, I am gonna go in with the pointed end of my eyebrow brush. So that's kind of what, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it? Okay, clearly I'm not cut out to be this YouTuber thing. All you just saw was the hairy back of my hand. That's besides the point. I'm gonna brush out my eyebrows just because we're here, why not? But I'm also going to take the pointed end of it, dip it in the black, and kind of just go in and wing out just kind of like a smoky eyeliner look. I found this is so much easier than trying to do a winged eyeliner with like a pen or something, because it can be messy. It's just like the vibe of it. Okay. And there's no really rhyme or reason to how I do this. I just kind of throw it on there. So it's like kind of the smoky. And then, yes, I know that you might think that that's disgusting, but to me, it gives Indian that I clean it up using my finger. Okay, so that it's just like I said, it's like messy. There's no really like rhyme or reason to it. I will go in with an eyeliner over the top after I do like my cheeks and all that kind of stuff. So let's move on to cheeks. This is my favorite part. If there's one thing about me, it's that you will catch me wearing blush, because I just think that like pop of color that it gives, like it breathes life into my face. It gives. So let's do blush. Now, I don't necessarily want to say that my routine for my blush is complicated. Most of the time it's not. Most of the time I use one product, one and done. But for this look, I kind of want to give multi-level, multi-layered, you know what I mean? So we're using 3 different blush products. I will hear absolutely nothing about it. So first I'm going to go in with my Ride or Die. I'm obsessed with, like okay, let me tell you a little story time as I do this. First, it's the Glossier Cloud Paint in shade Storm. I don't know if you can see that. But this blush is genuinely one of my favorite products. The consistency of it, the color of it, it's all so perfect for what I want out of a blush, and like it goes so nicely on my skin tone. And so I place them kind of on my cheekbones higher up. But yeah, this blush has been like my go-to. So with all my blush products, I just kind of like put them all around. But it has been my go-to forever now. Like if there's one thing about me, I love to experiment. So very rarely do I buy very rarely will you see me buying the same product multiple times. I think now more so I have been, because I've kind of figured out what products work best for me, and I'm sticking to that. But Glossier is one of the first products that I have bought multiple times, because I know that like without fail, I will use it in my routine. It's my favorite. Like I said, the Glossier Cloud Paint Storm. So I put it here on my nose a little bit, and I'm just gonna go in with my Beauty Blender, which is still like a little bit damp. And I'm just gonna lightly tap that in. I kind of keep it concentrated higher up. I go in under the eye a little bit, but we'll do that more with like the other blush that I'm gonna add. But yeah, I just love the deep kind of pink red color that it provides, and I think it complements my eyeshadow really nicely. So like I said, keep it kind of high up. We'll let it blend into my eyeshadow and under my eye, all that kind of stuff. I don't lower it because I don't want it to like lower the shape of my face. I don't know if it actually does that, but I've heard that that is a thing. So okay, so now that I've kind of blended that out, I'm gonna go in with my other blush. Another cult fave, and like I said, I have been working on incorporating South Asian owned products into my makeup and skincare routine, and this brand, Mango People Cosmetics, one of my like go-to brands. Oh, I just love everything about them, and the founder is such a sweetheart. She put her heart and soul into this brand, and you can tell, it's so obvious. But I'm gonna go in, like I said, I'm very picky about the kind of shades that I put on my skin tone, because I don't feel like there are a lot that work with my skin tone. And so what I noticed is for the longest time, I was leaning towards like deeper red shades, because I felt like they applied a lot nicer on my skin tone, but I could never find like a pink color that I felt like was really good for me, until Mango People came out with their multi-stick in Gulabi. It is literally, I don't know if you can see that. It is truly the best pink shade I have found for my skin tone. And I'm very, very, very picky about the products that I use, especially when it comes to like the color. But yeah, this, incredible. The three blush products that I'm going to be using in this video, also I put it under my eye, and I also just do a little on the cheek area where I put the Glossier. The 3 blush products that, like I was saying, that I'm using in this video are my favorite ones in my entire routine. So as you can see, it's like this gorgeous pink shade, like a deep pink. And I just put it all around this area, and I will be going in again with a beauty blender and just kind of Blending that out. I want like that really intense, deep pink color. I just love how it looks on me in terms of blush. I know some people are not blush people. I am not one of those people. You know the TikTok audio that's like, if she has 100 fans, I am one of them. If she has 1 fan, I am that fan. If she has 0 fans, I am dead. That audio applies to me and blush. Okay, last but not least for blush, I go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Pinkgasm blush wand. And y'all, if there's one thing about Charlotte Tilbury that deserves all the hype it gets, it's that blush. It's this blush. Like, I'm obsessed with it, and I just put it over all the other ones because I feel like it also kind of acts a little bit like a highlighter in the shimmer that it provides. I'm actually like dead. Like, look at that. So like I said, we're going full glam for this look, or what is considered glam for me, because I am taking my grad photos. So I am doing eyeliner. I'm going in with this Huda Beauty eyeliner. Literally so incredible. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to go back to another kind of liner because of how the quality of this liner is just insane. And what I'm going to do is just very, very thin, connecting to the eyeshadow wing that we did earlier. But yeah, like, I'm just obsessed with the quality of this liner. It's so good. Yeah, like I said, very, very thin. And I think I'm gonna actually, sometimes what I do is I bring it down to the inner corner. I'm gonna do that. I don't know if you can see. But if you see how I kind of brought that down, I'm gonna do that. I only recently started doing this with my eyeliner, but I'm done with the top eyeliner, and now I'm gonna go in and put a brown liner in my waterline. Again, I used to not do this, but my friend recommended to me in terms of just accentuating and flattering our eye shape, and I agree. I think it looks really good. So I'm gonna just go in to the waterline. It's not like super intense. It's just like a very subtle, it's not like a deep brown. I don't like what I look with black in my waterline, so I opted for the brown, and I like it. I don't know if you can see like a difference, but personally I like it. And so that I'm using is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Limitless Brown, shade 608. I don't know if I should do like the makeup moment. Yet another product that I have bought religiously multiple times and is like a ride or die for me is the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. I just think it works really well for my lashes and my lash shape. I think I have I have longer lashes, like lashes that are on the longer end. And I think that they don't stick straight out, like they go up. So I think that this mascara works really well for that reason. And I just kind of lather it on there. I don't like clunky, I like more natural looking. So I just try to keep it kind of, sorry, I can't multitask. Do you see, like I kind of just try to keep it not super chunky. And then I also is that an eyelash? I don't know. And then I also do the same thing on the bottom lashes. So that's the difference. Okay, eyes are done. So I'm gonna go in with this Fenty, I don't know if you can see it, Fenty bronzer in the shade Cocoa Naughty, I think is the shade. You know, I love a good Fenty moment. And I don't really know how to apply bronzer. I just kind of like do it anywhere and where I think seems like I should be putting it. So I could be wrong. could be wrong. I also don't know if this is the best way to apply bronzer. Like I said, technique has never been my forte. I just do what I think works well for me. Okay, so bronzer is on, and now I will be going in with the Fenty Beauty highlight, and it is the one that has like the two different kinds, and it's in the Mean Money and Hustler Baby. I don't know if you can see that. And this is what it looks like when you open it. Not me not being able to open it. This is what it looks like when you open it, and I go in with this shade. It's the more goldeny one. I just use my finger. This is what it looks like on, and I put it on my nose, on Cupid's bow, and yeah, that's there. And then I go in with the lighter one, which I think is the Mean Money, and I put that in the inner corner of my eye, if you can see. I think I use this one on the inner corner because of how bright it is. So I like, if you can see the difference, I like the effect of it. But yeah, that's highlight. And then, okay, another South Asian owned beauty brand, Kulfi Beauty. I'm gonna take their eyeliner pencil, super creamy, in the shade Cheeky Chiku, and I'm going to just do some faux freckles. This is not a normal part of my routine, but I've been feeling it lately. I would like to say that my makeup routine kind of captures the vibe of the Yara filter on TikTok, which is my favorite TikTok filter. So like I said, it's super creamy, so I'm just gonna do some dots here and there. Just to add like a little bit of something to the look. And then I kind of pat that in, right, to not have it not be like super intense. Kind of just do it everywhere, if you can see it. I'll do a close-up later. But I'm gonna finish putting those on my face, and then I'm gonna go in with the powder. I don't know if you guys can see it. I think it looks more unnatural on camera, but it looks like a little bit more natural in person. So now I'm gonna go in with my powder over my entire like look, and I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish in the shade Medium. I don't know if you can see that. Again, Charlotte Tilbury just knows what they're doing with makeup, in my humble opinion, but to each their own. And like I said, I just go here and I'll just pat it and set the rest of my makeup. Again, don't know if the order I'm doing all of this in makes sense, but that's besides the point. Then I'm going to do my eyebrows. I don't do anything with my eyebrows other than add a gel. So we're just going to take this Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencil, and we're going to wet it so that I can clean it up. And then we're gonna go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. If you can see that, love this. I feel like I haven't been able to find another brow gel that just holds the shape of my brows as well as this one does. And the trick is that I have the brush at an angle like this. I just dip it in here, and then I just brush up my natural brows, and I'll show you guys the difference when I'm done with it. Yes, I don't color in my brows or anything like that. I think that I would make them look worse if I tried to do something like that, but that's kind of like the difference. So I just like want the shape to be nice. And I'll just shape that. there you go. That's the difference. I'm gonna do it with the other eyebrow too, and then we will finish off with our lips. After everyone asking about my eyeshadow, lips I think is the next most asked thing. So I go in with the Kylie Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Ginger, and I just line my lips. I don't overline a lot, just actually I don't think I overline at all. If anything, just a little bit. And so I'll just line my lips, and that has made the world of a difference. I used to really not like using lip products that were like cakey, like I didn't like lipsticks and stuff like that, but this is the singular lipstick lip gloss combo that I just like die by. Again, I'm really picky with the shades that I put on my skin because I just don't think that a lot of shades match my skin tone well, but the Ginger shade in Kylie Cosmetics matches it incredibly. So I'm, again, die hard. I have bought this multiple times, which, like I've mentioned already, is very rare for me because I don't usually love products enough to buy them multiple times. Anyways, so I just went over all of that with the same shade in the Kylie Cosmetics lipstick, lip gloss, whatever you want to call it, Ginger. And then I usually go over it with some kind of gloss. Sometimes I do the Fenty gloss or a Buxom gloss, but today I'm going to be doing Tower 28 in the shade Coconut. Again, it is Asian owned, woman of color owned. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in the shade Coconut. And I'm just going to add that for a little bit of gloss over these two lip products. And I think it just adds like a nice pink shade. And that is that. I'm gonna go in with the Pixie Hydrating Milk Mist. I don't know if you're supposed to put it over makeup, but I do. So I'm just gonna and let it set. And that is my makeup look. That is my everyday makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any other questions, let me know. I have a couple other video ideas that I want to do. I want to do like a makeup collection, or a blush collection, lip collection, perfume collection, jewelry collection, room tour, and I am filming a day in my life, and then nighttime skincare, you know, all the good stuff. And if there's anything in particular you guys want, also 73 questions, I have that as well. Anything else that you guys want me to film, let me know. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did watch, if you didn't, that's your loss, honestly. Okay, bye.